pound USD, the only pair that I trade. People ask me why. Why do I only trade one pair? Reason being, I want to focus on one thing. It's like focusing on a specific course you're doing or anything you're doing and you want to perfect it. So you decide to give it all your attention. Now that's the reason why I trade pound USD. Get. So guys, these are the trades we had last week. But first, I would like to thank everyone in the Telegram group. It has been 3 months since we opened up this group, and today we hit 300 guys. Right now, before I came to record this video of the trades we took last week on GBP there were 310. So meaning a total of 12 people joined the group today. So that's progress to me. Remember, small baby steps. So let's look at the trades we had last week for GBP. Then I'll make another video for you guys about candlesticks. But first, this is the daily time frame, guys. So last week was a bullish move for GBP though. Began by fake out to the downside. Now, I've taken long without seeing that fake out. That's on the 4-hour time frame and the 15-minute time frame. By this week it happened, but we still have an uptrend in GBP on the daily time frame, though there was this pullback, then it started form an M pattern. So we expect GBP to push down to around this level. This is around the 61.8 retracement level around here. So let's see if I'm correct. Pull up a fib. Ratio is 61. Yeah, I'm correct. So that's why we expect GBP to pull up to here, then a push up. And if you use a precious indicator called the order blocks with signals, you'll find that there is something like an order block here on the either 4-hour daily time frame. Doesn't matter, guys. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame, how the week was, and the trades we took. So this was the 4-hour time frame, and we decided to use our precious strategy that gave us this trend for the week. So you see this fake out, that's this fake out, then this push, then it's back to where it began from. That's GBP. That's how it moves. It always tends to come back. Now if you go back and back test, you'll find that it always comes back to where it started from. So let's just look at this. Don't mind the trend lines. Sometimes I adjust them. So when I'm going to show you the trades we took last week, don't mind if I say one of our confluences was a trend line. Don't mind that. So let's look at the trades on the 15-minute time frame. Guys, I want to discuss to you some strategies because there's a lot of analyzing. Sometimes I look at the DXY if I'm not so sure about the trade. Let's just look at where the week began from. So the week began from here. Left an order block here. Now this order block is from the 1-hour time frame. Don't mind. Our indicator shows us. Our indicator shows us this. Shows us order blocks on all time frames. So I like to draw my order blocks in. So that's information for mentorship students. So began by ranging. Monday was really ranging, guys. Ranging all over. But remember, our indicator just gives us those order blocks. So just come back, market pull back, look for confluences around there. Pulls back here, confluence. There's a retest of the week of this week. Retest. So I'm sure it pulls to pull back in the future. That's if it wasn't broken. So let's just continue. So it began by ranging, playing around. So this trend line wasn't here, it was adjusted, but on Tuesday, we took a trade. This was the trade, this. And the reason for that trade was the third touch of this trend line. That trend line was drawn from the 1-hour time frame. Third touch, and reason being there's an M pattern here, which we didn't actually see. We came in late, and then it gave us that touch. So how do you guys call these candlesticks? These two candlesticks, these ones, they call them tweezer tops, right? I discovered that last week. I asked no candlestick behavior. I don't know much of the names, but I think these are tweezer tops. This, right? I'm not so sure. Or spinning something. Well, I know candlesticks behave. So the 2-week rejections, then move to the downside. So I didn't jump in from here because it would be like jumping on a moving train. So I waited for the retracement. That gave us a third touch. And this is like the 61.8 retracement level. And also a retest of this broken zone. That gave me the push. Guys, trading is simple. So the other confluence was psychological level. What are psychological levels? Psychological levels are round up numbers on the chart that everyone will look at. Now, banks, I'm not saying trade like the banks, but banks look at big figures. So you don't expect them to go for the small figures. That's why you see there's always action on those big figures. On those psychological levels, look at this action, action, action here. It's crazy. So what you do, you just add up confluence. Confluence was psychological level, M pattern, that touch of the trend line here, and then a retest of a broken uh support turn resistance, then the 61.8. That's why we sold this pair. It really dropped so fast. So I didn't actually sell from exactly here. The market gave us an extension to this level. That's why you see you kind of have like two entries. If we delete one, two entries. So I just did that post averages in stacking it, and boom, gave us around 50 pips. So I moved out of this trade when I saw those 2 week rejections. Wow, those 2 week rejections, that was it. I didn't want to know more. I moved out of that trade. So don't mind about this thick area. This is just like my order block using my indicator. So the market pushed back up to this level, came back to this order block that I told you guys about. Then again it dropped. Boom, 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 up to the psychological level. I think it was a too big as a it was a busy week for me, guys. So I didn't have so many trades. Would have called this and this because there's this high of the week order block psychological level. So we'd have got some sniper in here, sell this pair. So and then we'd have got this buy. Reason being, this would be like a pullback to this level. Then there's that W pattern. Then a retest, and we would have got that buy, but we didn't. So what happened? I got confused the next day. Not confused, but guys, I missed out on a key point in my analysis and it costed me. So this was supposed to be like that was how the analysis. So me I was selling. There's a trend line running from up there. So this was like I expected a sell since the market had formed on a W on a psychological level and there's that M pattern. So I expected a drop. But the market didn't do that. I missed the key view via my analysis. I didn't take note of this trend line. This would have been the third touch of a trend and then just a bounce on the trend line and that W pattern. Then this engulfing would have got that trade, but we didn't. So the market came back to its order block, then the psychological level. That's why I sold this pair. Reason being, this was my exact sell, but since it flopped, I told someone in group that guys, that M pattern will form on G. So the M pattern came and formed on a psychological level. This one gave us the M pattern. Then I entered from some engulfing around. I think it was this one. The market just came back, confirmed the move, then dropped to this level. So that was like a resistance stand support. That's why I took profit from here. And there's a psychological level, then an order block. So that's how the market was moving. So that was a retest of this trend line, but came bouncing on this order block. So what happened the next day? This was supposed to be a buy, but we missed that too. Then here, this is where I called from, let's sell, and it also didn't go in my favor. Reason being, my confluence was there's this M pattern here. So that was resistance. Then there's a psychological level. So what I was waiting for was the formation of the M pattern, but it didn't happen. There's news. News just passed through, took me out, continued. So same move happened, and this was Thursday. Same move that happened here. You get the market repeats what it does, repeats itself. So you see this extension. This one was just bigger. You get this extension from here to here, from here to there. It's the same extension here. This one is shorter. You get this was Wednesday, this was Thursday. So same thing. This was there as a W pattern. If you use a line chart, and there's a trend line. Then there's a psychological level close. So I sold this pair of meal after this engulfing. The market dropped. I held my trade throughout the night and I came out from here. Reason be from the psychological level. Reason being there's a psychological level there. And I didn't want I trusted this break and the retest, but I wasn't sure of the retest. So I went to the 1 hour time frame and I wanted to get my retest from above here. Reason being there would be a retest of this trend line and there would be another cutting trend line and there would be a psychological level and there would be a, a fib ratio. That's the 6 to 1.8. That's why I expected. I posted a setup in group and expected market to come and form an M in this box, but the M was formed down here, so I didn't take the trade. This is the M that formed. I didn't take the sell, so that was supposed to be. So this is Friday. I didn't actually sell. I didn't actually. Now you see the market is playing on another block that is next to a psychological level of 20.50 of 1.20500. So let me just show you guys. I took a buy, a quick scalp, because I was on a live with someone and told them the market is going to buy back to this level. So when the market pulled back, this was the actual W pattern, which I was supposed to also take, but I didn't. But when the market pulled back and retested, I saw that week, I started scaling it. So I got this candle here up to there, up to that week. Immediately it retested. Actually, there's another strategy that tells us that when the market retests with a week, just sell. But we didn't. I wanted it to come back and be sure. So it didn't. So I didn't sell. Boom. Sold, formed another AM. This was Friday. I hit trading. News was in there. So that's how. So it's here. It's going to form that W pattern anyway. Since we don't trade on Monday, we won't get anything. So those are the trades we took last week, guys. Just join the Telegram group if you're not, and just click the link in the description. Sorry, it's there. So I'd like you guys to go back and backtest this weekend. This video is going to come out tomorrow in the morning. So, guys, have a blessed week next week. Let's milk the markets and stay clear grain. Boom.